So here we are at the workbench. I've been working on trying to figure out where this 60 hertz hum is coming from for quite some time. I'm not sure exactly what possessed me to do the things that I have done, but I've done them, and I want to tell you about what I've done. First, I have taken this drum module completely apart, like several times, and I was chasing it in the module, and I'm like, there's no way it's the module. I mean, we went over this for like 3 hours straight yesterday, and I've made some discoveries. I'm gonna tell you about one of them. I don't think it really matters anymore. It's kind of obsolete information, but I've made a discovery, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. So for starters, the first thing I note about this circuit is it needs, sure enough, some juice in order to trigger properly and everything to work properly. You got to give it a good enough amount of solid 12 volt power, which, as many modules as I've got running off of this one power supply, I've almost filled this bus up, and I don't know that this power supply was designed to handle that many. Hence why I'm going to reverse engineer it and see if I can do anything to improve it at all. Like maybe make it a little bit better for larger stuff like this. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, there was a 60 hertz hum, and we chased it and chased it and chased it. I'm talking about, we took out the inductor completely. We put in a new inductor. We swapped inductors. We've tried swapping out the different diodes. We've done the new chip, we've done new op amps, and I've actually changed out these transistors several times at this point, and in fact so many times so that I socketed the transistor Q1, which is like where the start of it is. Q2 is what makes the racket. And yeah, I've made one discovery, was that I've got two different transistors. One of them does not like to make noise at all. One of them likes to make a lot of noise, like the kind we're looking for. They're both 2N3904s, but one says B331 and one says H331. Just thought I should point out that there is a difference in transistors, and there's a size difference in them ever so slightly. The H331 looks bigger. The B31 looks smaller. I don't know what the differences are there, but there is a difference. And when I put in the B331, it's like the noise circuit quit working. So just a little thought, something I should put there. And I'm doing this as a live stream because I'm just trying to record on record what I'm doing to this board. I was going to make a short video about it to update the discourse post, but I stopped the hum. I actually stopped the hum, and that brings me to why I'm even doing the live stream in the first place. I don't know what possessed me to circuit bend this thing so much, to not circuit bend it, freaking take it apart and hunt down bugs. Like, there shouldn't be any. There's no reason to have any. Nobody's reported any problems anywhere. Like, not one person has said they've had issues out of this circuit. As long as you had all the components it called for, it works as intended. And okay, that's exactly what I went in thinking, like, yeah, okay, so that means I did something, right? So I bug hunted and looked and tore this board apart looking for what did I do wrong, till finally I killed the hum. I didn't do anything to this board to do so. The hum just quit. And I know what I did to make it stop. It's this power supply. And we talked about it being 60 hertz. And well, you know, we have 60 hertz power. And we talked about yesterday how we thought it was a power hum. Well, it was. That's exactly what it was. And because it being a power hum, I thought maybe, okay, maybe it's possible that my oscillator, my great big 5 stack, counts as more modules than just one. You know, it takes a lot of juice to run that bigger module. So maybe that module is causing the problem. I unplugged it. The problem didn't change, but I noticed that this thing, the volume changed. It had a decrease in volume, I think. Like, I don't know how to explain that properly, but there was a decrease in volume. And so I was like, okay, all right, that's something. You know, it's something. It's doing something different than it was. So let's keep following that path. That was my logic. The very next thing I did, I took this power supply, one single like synthesizer module at the time, unplugging it, and then eventually the hum stopped. It just quit out of nowhere. It didn't matter, like there wasn't a specific module. I think there's something wrong with either the bus board or the cable. That's why I brought it over here. I think there's something wrong with my bus board, because if there weren't, it wouldn't hum. Because I literally plugged this module directly into the power supply and it works perfect. All across the board, it works perfect. You can make beats with it. It doesn't have any issues. It's a fully functional module. And I'm going to go update the discourse post after I finish putting this back correct. And I just thought I should share with you guys what I did. And the reason somebody else might run into this same issue. Maybe. And I say that because a lot of people use these bus boards. But if you're running into a 60 hertz tone, definitely check and make sure your power supply is all kosher. I'm not sure what's going on, and I'm about to find out. I'm just putting this drum module back together. I started the stream for the power supply, but it's easier for me to just do all of this at one go. Might as well do it now. No time like the present. I was going to do the reverse engineer of the power supply Tuesday for anybody that's actually wanting to see that. The only thing that I'm kind of hesitant on is, like, should I proceed? If I'm struggling with this board, the bus board and the power supply, I might need to rethink the design a little bit, make it a little more robust, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Alright, so this board is back as it should be, and I'm gonna go ahead and just I promise I'm not trying to just take up time, but I really want to go ahead and put this module all the way back together, for the simple fact that if I don't, it will likely get pushed off to the side because I have lots of stuff to do. And remembering little nuts and bolts on every little thing can be time consuming. Sure you guys can relate to that. There we go. Make sure they're all properly seated. So what I am going to do here in a second is I'm going to take this power supply apart. I'm going to take the bus board and kind of inspect it. I don't know. I'm going to figure something out. We're going to figure this out. I want to know why I'm getting such a loud hum. But it didn't, it literally, what's fascinating to me, this is what really bugs me. There's no noise anywhere. There's no hum anywhere until this module gets plugged in, and only in the noise circuit. Nowhere else. There's no other circuit anywhere. And it makes me wonder if there's some stray voltages causing it to, like, trigger. And because I have yet to put the scope on it, I literally was up till 6 a.m. I've had I had a rough night. I didn't get to sleep like I wanted to. I haven't scoped it yet. And at this point, I don't know that there's a reason to scope it anymore. Like, I kind of want to, just to make sure. but I'm also wondering if maybe because this is a switching power supply, if maybe it's like there's just enough of a harmonic in it. If that's the case, some decoupling caps might help that. I'm honestly I'm still, again, without looking at this power supply up close, I don't know what could possibly be causing that issue. Although, if we have to, we can go ahead and properly connect it together with wire instead of, like, hookup wire instead of this ribbon cable, and see if that helps any. The only reason I never did that is because I wasn't sure if I was ever going to need that many plugs, and sure enough, I need that many plugs. And I've got another power supply on hand, so if I need another power supply, I can build one, but then I'd have to tear apart one of them to, I guess I wouldn't have to. You don't have to take it apart to reverse engineer it. It just makes it easier. Maybe I could take really good high resolution pictures with my overhead camera and just do it from the pictures. I was going to do it with a meter and trace everything just to be sure, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those, you just do what you can, you know. So again, this module is starting to look a lot like it's fine, and I may have sounded a false alarm on it being the drum, but it's weird because it wasn't present. I literally did the test. It's synthesizers, man. They're weird, and I love them. They're funky all the time. It don't matter what you do. There's gonna be something quirky about them. You are playing with voltages in a musical way, after all. What can you expect? Righto. So those are all the bolts. Tighten them down a little bit. I don't crank them down or nothing, but I definitely don't want them jiggling loose and vibrating because I have a little bit of bass in the room, and some stuff rattles every now and then. So I'll have that. Oh my God, when the stuff does rattle, I have to play what is rattling, and I go hunt that crap down and go figure it out, because you'll hear it and it throws you off, you know, because you're trying to make music. So noise, unwanted noise, is a distraction. Anyway, I love these modules so much. I can't believe I don't have. I'm out of them basically. Oh, yeah. Until the modulation station gets here, I'm definitely out. But when that one gets built, I'll be out of like on-hand modules. I'll be back to the design phase, because I literally, in my brain, I have this order of operations that this must get done in a certain order. There's just no way around it. If I don't get it done in a certain order, there will be chaos. And I don't want chaos right now. I need order, a little bit-ish. Some order would be nice. I guess that's not a requirement though. Just be nice. Oops, I didn't mean to set that quick so much. Just give me my downturn angle that I like. I did not plan this stream, so if you're catching this late, somebody commented on the actual build of this, and if I forget your name, I'm so sorry. That's a real life problem. I have name issues. Yeah, I hate that you didn't catch it live too. That's fine. It happens. Some of my favorite creators go live and I'm asleep, or I'm working, or I can't catch it for some reason. And it's not often I get to catch their stream, so when I do, it's like, hey, heck yeah. And like I haven't been able to catch up on some of my friends' videos either. I'm way behind. Like my watch later list has gotten so big, I'm scared of it actually. All right, so the drum module, that's for the record. That's it, finished. And let's take a look at this board first. Yeah, right away I'm like, I don't like this board. It already looks sketch. I'm gonna reflow. Did I discharge these capacitors? Do I have a resistor somewhere? Does it matter? I think I discharged it. We'll find out right if I get a zap. Do you hear me start cussing, you'll know. This, yeah, this looks like maybe I'm glad I'm reflowing it. It looks rough. This must have been, this was like literally one of the first things I put together. Oh, there's a bridged connection there. There's a bridged ground connection, which, yeah, that's all the same. They're all ground pins, but that could cause harmonics. Those little bits of weird random solder could cause harmonics, so we're going to take that out. Put a little bit of new in there. Yeah, that looks nice. Let's solder that down. There's a pin that doesn't even have solder on it. Oh, look, there's pins here that are like way too close together. That could easily touch. Like those could easily be touching and not be able to really tell. What did I do with this? This has been a minute. Oh, it's been a minute. This is no excuse. I should have done it right the first time. This looks like a cold solder joint there. I mean, I've learned a lot too since then. You know, you learn. You know, you don't start with the knowledge. You have to kind of earn it. Some knowledge can be given, but, you know, stuff like this right here, I'm having to learn in hindsight. I mean, everything else looks good, so I'm going to go ahead. Anything that looks possibly dry, though, give it just a touch. Righto. Cool. I feel better already. But I don't think it's this board. I just wanted to clean this board up. I think it's the bus board, remember. That's what I said I think it was. I was just checking this. Caps are all fine. Heat sinks are fine. Everything looks pretty much kosher as you'd expect. 7812 CV, Roger, Lemon Dodger, cool beans. So that can set up there. Let's check this board out. And I think I really am going to go ahead and wire it in permanently if it, I mean, don't see why not. So let's check the back. Ooh. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Oh. Ho ho ho. There's a problem. There's a problem right here. Wow, I didn't see that before. There's a negative 12 volt LED. It didn't get put in. That could cause a problem. It could, it really could, because that's going to ground. It's part of the grounding circuit in a way. We'll put that in. Again, we're trying to figure out the problem. Well, that's something that's supposed to be there that's not. I would call that a problem. So let's stick one of these LEDs in now. I don't know that that'll fix the hum. The only way to test for the hum is going to be to plug every module in, or one at the time, until the hum comes back. And even then, it gets me wondering, like, is it a specific module causing the hum? Is it, like, what's going on? I don't know. Alright, so that's kosher now. Is there any more blank holes that should not be blank? Just the wire holes. Alright. And I'm not too worried about those being filled. It's not going to hurt anything for the holes to be filled, but I saw some blanks Yeah, those blanks right there don't need to be blanks because they actually, I think, serve that purpose. All right, so pin wise, it looks like all the pins are kosher. I don't see any like, I mean, I see some bridged connect. I see a bridged ground connection. I'll take that off, just to be sure it's not causing harmonics. Any little thing, you know. And at this point, the only reason I didn't solder every single pin is because it was a lot. But in the name of being, you know, thorough, I'm gonna tie down these ground pins a little bit better. Like, I'm gonna go all three across because I don't know if you guys know how the ribbon cable works, but it goes in pairs. So two of these pins are the same, like uh, they're gonna go to the same place. They're all separated by different wires, but like all 6 of these pins are ground pins. So I want to at least go across so that there's more stuff grounded, because there's only one like right in the middle. I don't know if that matters or not. But I'm trying to rule out mechanical before I go electrical, because electrical gets complicated, and it's not that I can't do it, it makes it hard to do a video on though. You know, I come from a ham radio frequency background, so this is kind of like normal for me to deal with, but it's stressful to try to do diagnostics on a live stream for me because it's not something that I do often, and so like I'm always in a state of rust. Always have to have the manual nearby, that type of thing, and I feel like it would make a very interesting stream anyway. If I were proficient and didn't need the book and I could just do it, that might make an interesting stream, but I'm not there yet. I may never be, because again, this is not something I have to do very often. If I build a radio, generally there's already power supplies made for it, like the synthesizer. I built the synthesizer, but the power supply is already readily available to download and order, or in this case I bought these. Alright, so how I'm going to test this, I've got, again, you're hearing me through a mixer on OBS, and OBS takes every audio that's coming in, so that means I can just play my synthesizer directly into OBS Studios and you guys will be able to hear it. So as soon as I get finished touching this board up, I'm gonna plug it in and like see if the hum comes back. And if it comes back, is it only back because of a specific module? That's going to be the next question. Because if it's only because of a certain module, that module might just need some more power filtering. If it's because of how many modules are plugged in, then that just means it's time to put a second power supply in to give better stability. You know, as one does whenever you have that many modules. If you don't, okay, let's look at it realistically. Let's realistically look at synthesizer modules. That 5-stack VCO might as well be 5 separate modules because of how much juice it's taken to run, right? Compared to the other modules that do not have there's 5 CEM3340 chips and their respective circuits being run off of that one supply. Making coffee just got, hey Scruff, how's it going? I was hunting down a 60 hertz hum that appeared in this drum module, this Twin T drummer, and it turns out that it's not the drummer. After 4 hours of tearing it apart, it's not even the drum module. It's something in this bus board, or this power supply, or there's too many modules for this power supply to be able to handle by itself. I honestly don't know. So what I've decided to do, for the sake of testing, I'm going to permanently wire in this bus board, right, as a remote board. I'm just going to go ahead and make it permanent. I went ahead and put oh wait, I missed a row. I went ahead and put extra solder everywhere that had a ground connection that I felt might benefit from it. And I cleaned up the back of the power supply board. There was a few spots that looked a little shoddy, so I went ahead and fixed them. Otherwise, I think, let's see, let me get some wire. Some hookup wire. I'm running low on again, so we'll use blue, yellow, white. It's pretty standard, I'm sure. White being the ground in this point, and yellow being 12 volts. I'm doing that on purpose because I remember yellow being 12 volts in every power supply I've messed with. It's just automatic, and then blue for me is automatically negative 12 volts. The white, yeah, white's normally 12 volts as well, but you know, when there's a white and a yellow, my brain's gonna know, and nobody else is gonna be messing with this supply, so just kind of a note on that. Pick whatever color scheme works for you. Red, white, and blue, why not? Be a patriotic power supply. Or yellow and blue if you're feeling extra patriotic. Yellow and blue. Hey, that, you know what? That works out. There's yellow and blue. I got a Ukrainian support ribbon right here. Well, not ribbon, but twist. Hey, Dave. Yeah, I'm doing all right, Liz. How you doing? This was not a planned stream. Kind of I gave up. I didn't give up. I reached a point to where I was like, okay, I've done everything I can think of. I've tried everything I can think of. Now it's time to bring out the extra work where, oh wait, 5 volts. I need a 5-volt one. So, do I even have any black hookup wire left? Yes, I do. You know what? Okay. All right. We can do this properly. I'm gonna do this properly. Don't judge me. All right. We're gonna take this white wire and I'm gonna put this back on the spool for later. But yeah, I decided to try to hunt down that 60 hertz hum. It was humming. It was a power supply hum. You could hear it, and it's all. I've already done the 6-minute video and the 5.5-hour live stream. It was not supposed to happen. Listen, that shit, it happens. Murphy's Law, like this, there, just all of it just fall down. Just stay there. Oh, this box has one of those thingies in the front where you can like organize your crap. Which I will probably, and they're individually wrapped to make sure I've got to pull them out of the box. Fabulous. Will it work? Will this box work? I don't normally use these boxes like that, but my pegboard is covered up. Oh, that's brilliant, designer. Good job. Good job, whoever designed that. It gives it some resistance so you don't accidentally yank out your whole spool. It's unwanted resistance. But it's resistance. Get out of the box, damn. Alright. Cool. So there's that, and I've got red wire already, so I need to rip and open a new box. But we'll do black for ground and red for 5 volts. Now it's a proper power supply, right? Is that the bench? Oh, heck yeah. Right on. I'm looking forward to that. Let's go. Scruff dog. I'm looking forward to the bench. I like workbench videos. Brad was doing one right about the time, right when I got off, he was getting on, and he did a workbench video and was like, I'll be back in 20 minutes. And then he never got back. I was like, oh, emotional damage. Because I was looking forward to that. We'll take apart the amp he had on his bench in front of him had a bunch of random PCB billboards on it, and I was tickled by that. I'm like, what? That's why. They had served no, even he said it, they served no real purpose. They were just kind of there. So, yeah, I don't know. Alright, so now we've got all we need. We got a 5 volt, throw that up top. We need plus 12 volts, and then ground, and then minus 12 volts. If only they would have made a header out of that. That's going to be in my design. Let's make a header. Write that. I don't need to write that down. I'll remember it. I don't mind the hookup wire holes, but you know, if they would have put, they could have put the header, the footprint. Oh my God. They could have put a Molex footprint, right? And it would have been, you could have still done hookup wire. Just saying. Anyway. So, yeah, the 60 hertz hum might still be present. It might not. What we've done was clean up the power supply, clean up the bus board, and now I'm making the bus board a permanent fixture. Make sure there's not a bunch of extra insulation like floating up. That always gets me when there's like 6 inches of insulation sticking up above the PCB. There we go. Perfect. It was just the ground wire, that middle wire. There we go. That's nice. Nice and tight. Let's go. Ba-da-ba-ba. Wings in the air fryer. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. I'll be so glad when I can eat again. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been on a liquid diet because of the stupid teeth in my mouth. They've been, when I say immense pain, I don't know, I have an extremely high pain tolerance, and not in the neurotypical way. I have a neurodivergent autistic pain tolerance, and that is to the degree that I don't even feel shit most times. And because of my ADHD, I did not know that my teeth were bad until they were bad. And let me tell you what it took for me to feel the pain. There is a literal root exposed, and you can see it. And that's what it took for me to feel that pain. When I say I have high pain tolerance, I mean I've got really, really high pain tolerance. And it sucks because I don't know when stuff is broken and needs fixing. You know, like I don't know it's broke till it's broke, like broke. So, yeah, I had to, and then they were like, well, you got to wait till the May 4th to even get them out. I'm like, oh, cool. So I guess I'll just be in agonizing pain then. No worries. Like, okay, just because I have a high pain tolerance doesn't mean I want to continue to be in pain. Like, WTF, there's the logic in that. So that's kind of what I've been dealing with. Like, why I haven't been quite as video active. I haven't had the mental energy to do videos because they take time, and you can't think when you're in pain. You can just do. So I've been just doing. But yeah, that outside outside of technology, that's basically what's been going on here. Let's see if we can't bin a couple of those as a placeholder. I really don't like doing it this way, but I'd rather get them done so I can do the testing. Because I can do what I did on the other one and use my pliers to pull them down all the way if they're not seated. La-da-da-da. La-da-dee, la-da-da. Oh. Do it right the first time, and you won't have to go back. Look at that. Cool. Good deal. Now, how does that look on this side? What? They're seated? Wow. Don't ask me how that happened. But they are seated. So, here's what I'm going to do. I've got this now bridged permanently. And with it twisted, I don't know that there'll be audio hum. I'm hoping the twist of the wire will prevent any hum. So, I do have my synthesizer plugged into the mixer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over. Do I have something I could like mount this on? Cord or something? One moment. Hold on. It's too short. The cables are too short. All right, never mind. Look, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take this and stick it on like a 2x4. Give me 1 second. I know that sounds silly, but there's a reason for that. Where's the lumber? The shorter lumber. Do I not have any short scraps? Alright. Scraps that idea. I thought I had some short scraps of 2x4, but I do not. And I don't see any other things that I could mount this to. I was just gonna do something to keep it kind of steady. So we'll take this to the synthesizer. Let's see if it still hums. And I don't know that I can carry you with me. I do apologize, but what I can do is I could break this microphone so you could still hear me at least. So maybe I'm not quite so like off in the distance quiet. Is that good? You hear me all right? Good deal. Kosher. Kosher. Now, I gotta hook all this crap back up. Wind limit. Let's find the... Where is the power plug? What did I do? Throw it on the ground. Alright, so if I plug this module back in, it turns on as it should. LEDs just lit up. LEDs lit up as they should. Microphone is going to be bumpity because it's on an actual mic on an actual stand. Go figure. Doing real shit today. Alright, so the drum module, firstly, I want to make sure it still works. So I'm going to plug it in directly to the power supply. We'll plug this directly into the power supply. Oh, you couldn't. Okay, well, how about that? You're sticking it on 2x4. Well, I was going to put it on a 2x4. I had to bring another microphone in. Hold on. I was going to stick it on a 2x4 so I could move it around and it still stay rigid. Was kind of like the idea there. But I had to move my microphone because you're not going to be able to hear me across the room. Not really, but you should be able to hear me pretty good now. And I've got it plugged in. I've got the module cable plugged in. I'm going to start by plugging in just the drum module, which is back over on the workbench. And to my knowledge, again, it works fine. But we're about to find out, just to be sure. So I'm gonna start with the kick drum, and I got a programmed on the beat step just to have a constant. So can you hear that? Should be coming in. Let's see. It's quiet though. It's really quiet, but it's on. Trying to figure out why it's so quiet. One moment. Huh. I can see that it's showing up, but it is very, very quiet. Let me try turning this up. There we go. All right. Now we got some input. My bad. All right. So this is the kick drum. And to get the oscillation out, you can turn it up till it hums, and then take the set screw, the trimmer pot, and you turn that to the left. There we go. Cool. All right, so let's try. I'm gonna put this down in the mix. Oh, that's nice and loud and proud. All right, let's try. All right, now that's all the tops. Here's the snare. Oh, perfect. Yeah, we have a snare. How about that? What about noise? Cool. We have a working drum module. Now, this is the part, this is what gets tricky. It works. We know it works, but how long is it going to work? So I'm going to put a steady beat on. It might get a little irritating, so I apologize. I'm going to try not to leave it on like forever. But I am going to have to start plugging in modules to diagnose this thing. And I'm going to start with my big VCO because that's the one that is the most suspect because I designed it. So there's a click. I could probably turn it down a little bit. Not quite so loud. Oh, that's not the right attenuation knob. There you go. Helps if you turn the right knob down. All right, so now I'm gonna plug in. I mean, maybe not so constant. There we go. That's a little less. Just yeah. Plug it in one at a time. All right. Big VCO plugged in. So far, so good. Damn, I can't, with the green LEDs, I can't even, just with how bright they are, I can't see the plug in now. I gotta put some tape over that. There we go. This is why I wanted to design. Okay, 2 modules in. So far, so good. Three in. I mean, I've got a lot of modules to plug in. There's like 14 of them. So, let's see. So far, there's still no noise, which is good. The hum is not there yet.
There it is. There's the hum. So suspect cable number 1. What about if I plug in another module? Oh, there's a hum. If I plug in a different module, no noise. So 2 hums. We got 2 hums. And I can almost guarantee I know which ones those are. I bet you, I'm willing to bet those are the safety valves. Oh shit. What is that? What the fuck? What the hell was that? Well, that... Okay, so cable number 3. There's a suspect cable number 3. There's a hum on that one. There's a hum on that one. I don't know how to explain what I'm seeing here. So I'm just going to go with, so far there's a couple of cables that one's a hum. When introduced to the mix are causing hum. What about this one? Okay, well, no, it's not the safety valves. I'm just gonna unhook it. Unhook it all. Alright. So the safety valves are on. There's still noise. Why is there still noise? Well, now it just got really quiet. I think... Oh, shit. All right. All right, cool. Well, I found a couple of things out just now. This is frustrating. And I'm saying, when I say frustrating, I mean like uber frustrating. Hold on a second. I'm going to switch back over to the computer for a second. And I'm going to actually take this with me. This is... All right, so they're not playing well together. Something is not playing well together. All right, so camera is there. Boom, we are back to camera audio. You should be able to hear me okay. All right, here's what I've learned. As of right now, here's what I know for certain. It's not the power supply. I can definitely rule out the power supply. I can rule out the drum machine. That is not the surprising part. What surprises me is that I can also rule out my synthesizer. I can rule out my module, my Kosmo module. Do you know that's actually the most surprising part about this whole shit? I thought that would have been the one causing the racket. It's not. It is not causing any problems. As soon as I plugged it in, actually nothing changed. It stayed the same. So, it's not the power supply. It's not the bus board. It's not the drum module.
But it's something. It's definitely something, and it's all those ribbon cables humming away. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, it's the ribbon cable. It makes me want to do away with the ribbon cable if that's what it is, because playing around with the ribbon cable, I can hear frequency changes. I don't know if you guys could hear the wavering whenever I started like messing around. If you listen to the audio closely as I'm bustling stuff about, you can hear the frequency change. And in some cases, it got quieter by twisting the hey, hold up. Maybe I don't need to get rid of the ribbon cable. Maybe I just need to do the good old twist. Just go on and literally wind the ribbon cables around one another. What you reckon? You reckon that'll do it? Put enough twists in there to maybe choke out any resonance. I wonder if that'd be enough though. I wonder if I should run some like ferrite, run it through a ferrite bead, get like a really big. I got a big ferrite bead for my ham radio shit. I could run them ribbons like all at one time through that shit. Do one loop. I don't know if that'd be enough or not. It might work out. You think? All right. So here's what I can take away from this though. There's noise in ribbon cables, which we knew this. This is something that's been known for longer than I've been alive. But what I didn't know, apparently synthesizers have a limit to how many ribbon cables you can put in there before they start self-oscillating off the cables. And it looks so neat and orderly back there. I haven't even shown the demo yet. I have not done a tour of this synthesizer because it's waiting on the modulation station. Give it a shot. You would have to twist pairs together, but wouldn't that only be for stray RF pickup? Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking too. But when I jostle those ribbon wires around a little bit, it does affect the magnetic field around cables being twisted together. That's why you don't roll up extension cables while they're in use or things like this. And that's why I twisted this power supply cable as I did. I could have just ran them straight, but I don't even know how to explain it. I suck at explaining shit. It has something to do with the electromagnetic field and eddy currents that are caused by the flow of current through a wire that isn't twisted together when it's AC. That applies to AC, I think. I don't think it matters with DC. Wouldn't it be resonant to the length of the cable? Yeah, and that's another thing. Those cables are resonant to a degree. They would be resonant around 101 megahertz, given how long they are. Well, okay, maybe a little lower. They might go. They're still in the megahertz range, though. That's still way too high to worry about. Yeah. All right. So for the live stream, there's really nothing more I wanted to cover. I did fix everything on this board, made it permanent. I put the drum module back together. You can hear that it works perfectly fine. So I'm going to go, as soon as I end this stream, I'm going to go to the discourse and let everyone know that it was, in fact, it's coming from somewhere else. It's not the module. And so I feel guilty now. I feel kind of bad because I've spent on live. I'm on live the whole time. There's proof. I don't even have to defend myself. I got a whole live stream, damn 5.5 hours. It was supposed to be an hour, and it turned into 5.5 because I was trying to fix it. And I traced the bug in the wrong spot. I hunted the bug at the most recent source, and not an accumulative bug that I didn't think was there. So, live and learn, eh? Boy, that supercomputer looks cool. You guys can't even see it. I can't show you because it's supposed to be a surprise for the tour. Anyway, anybody that knows Big Clive and the A4 gallium, I've got one, but it's got UV, the purple UV LED. So when I hold up like blacklight reactive stuff, it reacts. But anyway, you guys have a great day. I really just did the stream to try to bug hunt and figure out what I could do to fix this thing, and I found out that I've got to go even deeper. Wow, I've got to go. First off, I got to figure out which one of those modules. There's only one doing it. One module is extremely like it really blasts. I'm sure you guys couldn't have missed it. It was too obvious. It was way out there. I don't know which one that is, but that one is going to be the one that I start with because that's a problem. The hum, I can live with the hum. The hum I can fix. 60 hertz hum, hell, that's typical, and that's every audio electronic engineer's nightmare is the 60 hertz hum, right? So yeah, I appreciate you guys like watching. I mean, I was doing this for a record, so yeah, this is kind of, I guess, a bonus. That's why I didn't call it a builder's life. Anyway, you guys take it easy. I'm gonna get me some more coffee, and yeah, I'll catch you next time.